Tips from an 82-and-a-half-year-old lady. I do have some tips on you keeping young, feeling good, and it's not anything hard. Some of them is just really surprising. But this is me at 82. I had to start to think about what have I been doing that's kept me like this. I'm going to share it with you now. Come on in. Did you know there might be some common drugs that you and I are taking? This is good news. That is very possibly slowing down our aging. I know that the scientists, they're looking into this right now. And they're hoping that they can, the researchers are saying, they're testing these drugs in clinical trials in hopes that if they work, that the FDA will approve them as anti-aging drugs. Now, you're going to be shocked at which ones they are. One of them is an ACE inhibitor. You know what that is? That's just for high blood pressure. I was actually wanting to get off of my blood pressure medicine, but now maybe not. And plus, they said I have a heart murmur and valves are weak. I've known that for years. It doesn't seem to ever bother me, but she said that my doctor said that the high blood pressure medicine, the ACE inhibitors, push the blood forward and helps your heart. I didn't know that. Okay. The other one, not everybody takes this, but they're trying to use this one, is an immunosuppressant called rapamycin. And that is actually, people use that where they have implants, not maybe implants, it would be, say, a liver transplant or heart or whatever, so that your body doesn't reject it. That one is used for anti-aging. Another one, a lot of you use this. It's a diabetic drug called metformin, Metformin. They're trying to get this on the market as an anti-aging drug. Oh, I've got more. Now, for the brain. These, I think, are very easy things to do and enjoyable. You want to do things that are mentally challenging. You want to do something that you're so good at that you hardly even have to think. You want something, because as you're trying to figure something out and strategy and thinking how, say, like they're saying chess, playing chess or checkers or any difficult puzzle, they actually grow neurons in the brain. So it's the same as with your muscles, I guess. If you don't use it, you lose it. So it's good to try to learn something new, maybe even a new language, anything that stretches that brain. Get on your phone even and figure out different ways to do things. Sometimes we go, oh, I don't know how to do that. Well, figure it out because it's good for your brain. Also, for your brain, I found this to be very interesting. Being isolated, not being around people, not being social, it's really bad for your brain. Listen to this. It can increase the risk for dementia by 30%. I'm telling you, that's a lot. Besides, you'll feel better if you get around people. Just make yourself do it. If the first time you go out and try to socialize with people and you feel awkward and it doesn't seem to be working, so what? Do it again and do it again until you start meeting people and start just getting used to being around people and exchanging ideas. So let me know if you're isolated and Tell me, get some ideas, some of you who are social, what you've done and has it helped you. Now, this subject, I really want your input on this because I have such mixed feelings about it. It's about statin drugs. I'm on a statin drug because I had a heart attack about 2 years ago. I'm absolutely fine now. They put a couple stents in, and I had stents in my carotid artery. But I can talk later about what caused this. It was just, they say from stress, long term stress. And my goodness, yes, I went through that. I won't go into that, but I had a lot of stress. And it was long term stress. It can actually build up cholesterol in your arteries. Now, I wasn't aware of that. I, I just didn't go in and have things checked. I wish I had done this. I wish I had went and had the arteries and checked to see if I was getting blood flow to my heart. And I wasn't. It was what they said that it was so narrow, the blood flow to my heart. It was as thin. Well, one doctor said as thin as a hair, and one said as thin as a thread. I don't know how. I don't know how I made it through. It had to be God that just got me through it. Because I didn't go to the doctor right away. But I kept thinking, I should have went. If I would have went in, I wouldn't have had that heart attack. So talk to your doctor about this. I'd like to have my arteries checked out. I'm not exactly what your test they would do. I wish I would have had that done because now when you have a heart attack, you do damage to your heart. So, like I said, I feel good, and I think I had a mild heart attack. I believe it was, but so statin drugs, and so now they have me on a statin drug. I keep hearing such controversial things about statin drugs. But now, this article I was reading, this is, you know, another side of it altogether, too. They were saying that statin are amongst the most effective anti-aging drug on the market. They are anti-inflammatory. Inflammation seems to be the key to all diseases. That's what causes it, inflammation. I've heard that years and years ago. And I looks like now let me tell me what you know. What they're saying here that statin drugs is a big anti-inflammatory. Inflammation, from what I understand, causes that buildup of plaque because your arteries are inflamed, and so the plaque comes in to seal up the cracks, the bad areas, like a bandage. But when too much of it gets on there, it causes problem where the blood can't flow through. Let me know what you know about that. Try to stay on top of your blood pressure. I have a machine. I'm learning now here lately. I've been doing better. I've been keeping it out right there on the edge of my bed. And when you take your blood pressure, make sure your legs are not crossed. And you want to have your arm up at heart level, the same level as your heart. I'm in a squishy chair. I can't do it. But I'm getting where I'm starting to check more, maybe once or twice a day, where I wasn't doing that before. And I've found my blood pressure is rather low or normal in the morning, but as the day goes on, it gets higher. So that is a very important thing. Do that for me. Just keep an eye on that blood pressure. That is one of the most important things because if you don't, you could have a stroke. And if you have a stroke, you're going to have somebody else take care of you or end up in a nursing home. It can affect your speech, your movement of your body. Don't want to do that. So please keep an eye on that blood pressure. Well, if you're like me, you hate going in for regular exams. But for the first time in my life, but I had to wait till I get a heart attack to do this. But for the first time in my life, I'm going in, especially as I'm older. I'm 82 now. I go in for regular exams, blood work and when you go into the doctor, don't try to cover up things or act like you're okay. I mean, I have a tendency, I want to go in, yeah, I'm fine. But you know what? If there really is something bothering you, and take a notebook in, not only to write down what you want to ask them, the doctor, but the answers, the things they told you. Because sometimes you come out like, what did they say? You don't want to call back and ask again. But yeah, do that. Be good to yourself. Take care of yourself. I'm starting to learn to do that. There's nothing wrong with that. It's good because if you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anybody else. And you don't want anybody taking care of you. You want to be independent. So your health is your most precious thing. Take care of yourself. Yeah, this is a really important one. Do you know you really need to go into the dentist regularly? Because they were saying, I was reading that regular dental checkups, you should have them because the bacteria associated with periodontal disease are also associated with the development of Alzheimer's. It's very real, especially vascular dementia. If your teeth are rotten or they need taken care of, just remember it can very well affect the brain and cause you to get Alzheimer's. Do that, okay? Okay, here's some other things they said, but I would have to add one to this. They want you to take vitamin D. That all the doctors agree with that. I take a D3. They want you to take calcium. I wasn't doing that, but I have been doing that for several months. I've been because my doctor had recommended that. B12 for energy. Do you remember they used to give B12 shots? I guess they still do, but I didn't see that they had vitamin C down here. Well, that's very important. That's a sunshine vitamin, right? And from what I understand, as you get older, it's harder to absorb that vitamin C. So do that too. Yeah, this is interesting. They said to wake up between 6 and 8 a.m. It's something about the natural rhythm of your body. And you should have no less than 7 hours of sleep at night. So try to get that. And no more than 9 hours of sleep. You start sleeping longer than that, your body thinks you're dying. Wake that body up. Sunlight in the morning. If you have the opportunity to get into a little sunlight, I don't know what time of year or where you live, but and I should be doing this like in the morning when the sun's out, get a cup of coffee and go sit on the deck. Or even if you have a window with the light coming through. What about those? Uh, they have these artificial lights where people who get so depressed, they get depressed when it's dark in the winter, and they have these artificial lights that they can set under, and it actually lifts their mood up. They say in the morning to have a high protein breakfast for muscle mass. So there's so many things I need to cover here. They're so good. This is another one for let's say for your mental decline, not getting into mental decline, would be prayer, they said, or yoga. I don't know what I think about yoga. I, so I'll just leave it at that. I know a lot of people love it. I just always connect it with, I don't know if I like it, but it does reduce the risk of cognitive decline. Even if it's 12 minutes a day, it can make a difference. To pray, or they said yoga. So I am not going to say yoga because I'm on the border about that. But prayer. And you're thinking like, I don't know how to pray or what should I. Just sit down and talk to him like a good father, and he is a father who loves you. Just sit and talk with him. He adores that. This is what he loves. This is what it's all about. He wants a relationship with you. Sit down, and if you've got problems, you want to talk it over with him, and don't forget to take a little time to listen to. So try that. I found this to be interesting about exercise. Afternoon exercise may reduce the risk of premature death even more than morning or evening exercise. Wonder why that is. Why is it better to exercise in the afternoon? It says to walk briskly 30 minutes or cardio exercise at least 5 days a week and use weights on the other 2 days. I'm not saying to do it or not do it, but about the weights or the, but yeah, it's very important to keep the muscles. If you don't use your muscles, you're going to lose them. We just can't afford to do that. Eat during an 8 to 12 hour window, fasting for the remaining 12 to 16 hours, including sleep time, is associated with longevity and decreased diseases. So what I've been doing is I'd like to make it even longer, but I don't usually eat anything at all until 9:30 a.m. And I get up early. But I get up early and go to bed fairly early. But but I don't eat after 7 p.m. I've been doing that quite a few months now. And it is easier and easier the more you do it. I am on the keto diet. Now, the article I was reading, they think that the Mediterranean style diet is the best. To me, it sounds like it's the best, but I don't know. I didn't try it that long, and my husband, he likes to eat beef and more beef and meat. So the keto diet, I'm able to work that out with him and I. He's not actually on keto, but it's because he eats potatoes and things, but it has helped him to lose weight too. Partially because I'm not making a lot of desserts and sweets and stuff like that. But I've lost about 10 pounds, 10, 11 pounds, something like that. And it's been kind of just plateauing that way, but going down gradually. Okay. How about this one? This is surprising. Bedtime. Go to bed between 10 and 11 p.m. It may reduce heart disease, especially in women. I don't stay up that late, sometimes 10, but okay, I'm going to try to stay up till 10. Deep sleep between 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. is the optimal time for your brain to clear out debris and reorganize itself, reducing one's risk of Alzheimer's. Wow, so here we go again. Deep sleep between 10 and 1 a.m. So we need that deep sleep. Oh, guys, there's so many different things. Well, we know one thing. We want to be lean and mobile. If you don't use it, you lose it. If your body, I mean, if we stop moving, they said we trigger the aging process. So I think I was hearing before that you shouldn't be sitting for more than an hour. You should have a little timer. Every hour, get up and move, walk around. You said your muscles die if they're not used. As studies found muscle loss has nothing to do with aging. I mean, aging is not what causes that, but it's from the loss of use or movement. It's got nothing to do, just like, okay, I'm old, so I'm going to lose my muscle. No, they found out it doesn't. I remember they'd start having little weights and things and had people in the nursing home and they were building muscle. Another one is stretching exercises. I have not been doing that, but I want to do that. I'm going to see if just watching it on YouTube that I can, start doing that. But if not, I might just have to go to one of the classes locally and start doing it. It's very important. And you want to get into some kind of stretching exercises that moves all the muscles in the body, not just one area. Because every muscle that's not used is going to just disappear. It just gets weaker and weaker. And the muscles and things are what keeps us independent and not having to don't want to go into a nursing home or have family to take care of you and resent taking care of you and messing their lives up. We've got to take care of ourselves. And taking care of ourselves doesn't mean that the doctor is it's not his job. His job is probably to give us drugs to help us with what we didn't take care of. They're not there. They're not it's their body. It's our body, our responsibility. It's just like I said, going to the dentist. We don't expect the dentist to brush our teeth and floss and do all this stuff. No, we just go there if something happens, like we have a cavity or a tooth needs to be pulled. We have to take care of our body. Can't depend on doctors. Posture. Make sure you stand up straight. Try to sit up straight. Because when you're leaning over like this, you're crushing your organs. You're crushing hard your lungs and all your intestines. They need room to move and breathe. Well, I guess there's a lot more I could say, but I don't want to make it too long and boring, you guys. So I hope that helps. Okay, God bless you. Stay healthy and keep moving, keep praying, keep talking to the Lord. Get away from toxic people who can affect your health if you possibly can. If there's a way you can do that. And no matter what they say negative about you, don't take that in. Don't take it in. Just say, that's their problem. I know who I am. So God bless all of you. I love you. Hope you have the best of health. Bye bye.